I think that that one was just bad timing. It was, I think, it's pretty clear to everybody who saw it that I wasn't taunting. And I've been doing the celebration my whole career, and you know, it's just sad to see stuff like that happen in a close game like that. Um, it's just rough, man. I don't want to say too much because y'all know how it is, but on my way to the sideline, I got hip checked by the ref, and it's pretty clear. If I were to do that to a ref or even touch the ref, we get kicked out of the game and possibly suspended and fined. So I just think that that was incredibly inappropriate. It's upsetting, I just think that it's I think that it's unfair that that he has the ability to do that with no consequence. So.
Are you a proponent of the new taunting rule that's being emphasized, and have you had an opportunity to kind of reinforce it with your players?
I am, and I have. We're just trying to clean our game up. We embrace the responsibility that comes with being the role models that we are. This game being played at the highest level, we understand that people that play at a lower level watch us and often mimic the things that we do and how we conduct ourselves. And just largely as a league, competition committee specifically, there was a desire to improve in that area. And so that's been expressed to our guys. We've been shown examples of that throughout team development, and we continue to reinforce that as examples in a negative way turn up during the course of the journey for us and for others.
Turned out to be a hell of a game last night.
It was a weirdly great game, wasn't it?
It was a perfect ending to week 9. It was, you know what I mean? But great sidebar in the form of a controversy that had kind of died down a little bit after the first couple of weeks, but a national television audience got to see the point of emphasis on taunting. I know how much you love Mike Tomlin. So,
yeah.
Am I to assume?
Don't love this comment, though.
Okay, take it away.
Don't love this. Don't love it.
Take it away.
We embrace it. We embrace the responsibility. No, Mike. I don't like it. Mike, I don't like situations where passion, and well-placed passion, by the way, because you can make the argument, yeah, passion is bad. But if you're passionate about something and you're on the wrong side of an issue, where does your passion leave you? No, this is good-natured, within the flow of a game, passion. It was 3rd and 8. They needed to get off the field. Cassius Marsh, a former Pittsburgh Steeler, makes a sack on Ben Roethlisberger. They're getting off the field. They got an opportunity to tie up the game or even win the game outright, we thought at that time. But there was a lot more action after that. And they throw a flag because he kind of went and stared. Ultimately, they gave him a taunting penalty because he was, 20 yards away, 15 yards away from the Steelers sideline where he used to play. And he looks at him like, yeah, what's up? And then runs back and they throw a flag there?
Yeah.
I just think if you're going to say it's taunting, let's meet in the middle because they're not going to get rid of it. They love it. Like, coaches love it. Coaches love it. When you are, and just like anybody else, whether you're a commentator like we are or you're a coach, anytime you're not on the field and you're watching people do things, it's easier to cast judgment. Well, they shouldn't have done that. Well, you got to keep your head in that situation. You can't, okay, that's nice. We're sitting there. You got your jacket on. You got the headsets on. We're sitting here just chilling. It's easy for us to be judgmental. In that case, I like that there's a storyline there with Cassius Marsh, and he's excited. If we meet in the middle, can we do it this way? If you're in somebody's face, and you're taunting them, especially if there's an injury or you're face-to-face, you're going too far, throw the flag then. But come on, you can't, 15 yards away, what are we doing? That was a bad call. An official injecting himself into a situation where he didn't need to be.
I'm still not sure if he didn't throw it or if the hip hip check or the contact didn't put it over the top. Because the timing, even if he was reaching, the timing of Tony Corrente throwing the flag coincided rather conveniently with the contact. I'm like, wait, what was that for exactly? Or was it one of those like, okay, you know what? I wasn't going to throw it, but now I'm throwing it since you bumped into me. I agree with almost everything you said. The only thing... Almost, because I think, again, as we found us saying, more than one thing could be true. Or multiple things could be. Look, watch the timing of this. He's kind of reaching, and then he's almost like that was fishy. That was fishy. Yeah. I don't care what Corrente said afterward. That was fishy.
Yeah.
But all right, let's just say it was for taunting. I think multiple things could be true. Cassius Marsh, great play, great celebration. You got to leave it there. Because to go and to turn toward that sideline and strike a pose, when you know the league being all sensitive and whatnot, because we got to do it for the kids, because we got to set an example for the kids. God forbid if the kids show some emotion. God forbid if the kids talk shit. God forbid if the kids, decide they want to go ahead and actually emulate this, which, by the way, one of the lasting images in NFL history is Dick Butkus with his finger in an opponent's face telling him to stay down, all right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear it, but this ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new under the sun. But you got to know, if you're Cassius Marsh, you got to know that you can't do that. You can't stop and be like, you know what I mean? Like if you go, like you could glance, but you can't just be like, you know what I mean? But this is where I'll meet you in the middle. I want to meet you in the middle.
All right.
Because I too am solutions oriented. What if an official is inclined to call taunting? How about you check with the aggrieved party and see if they're offended? How about that? Because my issue is speaking.
Of course, you're gonna say yes.
But I'm like, yo, man, it's tongue in cheek, because of course they'll take the 15 yards. Yeah. But I'm like, wait, Tony, you think that they're being taunted? I don't think that they think they're being taunted. I think they're big boys. They can handle it. Don't have hurt feelings on their behalf. Like, you think the Steelers at that moment on the sideline would be like, oh my God, Cassius Marsh, he's looking at us. Oh, the horror. You think they're clutching their collective pearls on the Pittsburgh sideline at Cassius Marsh, staring at them? Like, taunting. It's like, we're losing grip of what garbage mean. Taunt is thrown around too loosely. That ain't taunting. That's celebrating. Like, we know what taunting is, and that ain't it.
Okay.
So my issue is like, it's just too far. Cassius Marsh should have better known better. And taunting is just like, can we not have such a loose definition of what taunting is? Please? Pretty please?
Well, see, but that's what you said. You said he should know that he can't do that. Do what? Like, what? Run it back. Run that back.
Mike,
okay, let's get the binoculars on him.
You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see the moment when he should have thought better of it.
That man ain't said it.
Here we go.
He ain't say a word.
Let's go back to, there ain't about saying it. It's McCringleberry. It's only two pumps. You can only do two pumps. All right, you do a kick. Nice kick. All right, everybody. Hey.
Celebrate with his boys.
Watch this. Guess right here. Look. That's too much. That's too much. That's just too much. It's like, okay, everybody, that's just, only two pumps. Only two pumps. He's still looking, 2 pumps. You can't look that long. It's like, you can't look that long. You got it, like, the last one off the field. Like, it just, I don't like it. I don't like the speed limit.
He ain't saying to the punter.
I don't like the speed limit.
He ain't saying to the punter.
But if the state police is over there and I'm flying by them, the reason my heart stopped is because I know good and damn well I was speeding. So in this instance, man, just cut it a little shorter. I don't like it.
Okay.
So cut it a little shorter.
I like that example. Okay, you're speeding. Now we both have been there, right?
We're both heavy-footed.
And let's say for the sake of argument, the speed limit is 65. And you going 67, 68, and he pulls you over, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to lecture and be like, oh, really?
That was a 70 and a 65. That was a 70 and a 65 last night. That's what that was. That was a 70 and a 65.
70.
Yeah,
come on.
it was.
Like,
It
Really?
was.
You pulling me over right now?
I agree with you. I agree with
After
you.
all the stuff
I agree
you've
with you.
seen
But
on
you
this
gotta-
here highway,
But you
pulling me over for this.
What about the car ahead of me? I'm just running with the horses. The car ahead of me doing 100.
Come on, man.
Okay,
Come on.
absolutely.
And then,
It's
and then
totally subjective.
the other thing is, you'll be like, hey, Tony, do you know my story, man? Do you know my story? I played for like 100 teams already. I played for 100 teams. I used to play for this team. They cut me. I was on the practice squad. I was just called up to the practice squad today.
I agree.
And here's the other
I
thing.
agree.
Here's the other thing. You know who I have a bigger issue with? I don't have a big, I have an issue with Mike Tomlin, but not the biggest. I have an issue with Tony Corrente, but not the biggest.
It's just too long.
If we can roll
it's
this
like
all
you
the way
gotta.
through.
It's just too long. Like you gotta just cut it
Keep
short,
going.
dog. Cut it short.
If we got it all the way through. Hey, it goes over. The coach. Who's the coach got in his face? He's like, yo,
Oh, they yelled at.
that was taunting.
Well,
That was taunting.
no, he got in his
Hey.
face because of the timing of it, and that's the other issue that I have
Oh, yeah, this dude.
with.
Who's this
but that's
dude?
the other. That's the other issue I have with the whistle. It's also like I know you want to call it consistently, but the timing of it, even though it's not ultimately what cost him the game, it's the timing of it that makes it that much worse. Like, come on, man! Not only did he make a great play against his former team, but he made it in a
I'm just
critical
hopping
situation. A critical situation. All right, real quick. I know you're a terrible
Yeah.
towel waving person. Did you have a takeaway when it came to your Steelers, who I told you were not as good as their record or their winning streak would indicate?
they're weird.
However,
They are
however,
weird. They are a
but you
weird
know
team.
what? But isn't everybody like? I'm not even gonna come in here and rip them for damn near blowing a 14-point lead at home, which they've never done in the fourth quarter, to the Bears. I'm not even gonna rip them for that because on a weekend like we just saw, does it really matter? Is anybody gonna remember at the end of the year if they were
Right.
fortunate to get out of there with a win? They're not. So they're weird. They're not that good. But right now in the NFL, do you really have to be? Or right now it really is better to be lucky than good. Right now, feels like.
Hey, Mike, do I have a takeaway on the Steelers? No, I don't have a takeaway. I mean, okay, they won the game when I thought they were going to. How about this? Here's my takeaway. If you do one of those charts during the game, it's 14-3. Oh, the Steelers got this. It ain't no big deal. Then they score a touchdown to go up 20-6. Mike Tomlin celebrates. It's late third quarter, early fourth quarter. Oh, they got this. Hey, Justin Fields, got a lot to learn still. And then, okay, here come the Bears. Bears ain't dead. Oh, the Bears might win the game. Oh, man, what a bad loss for the Steelers. Then it looks like the Steelers take control of it. And then my man with a 65-yard field goal attempt. Now, I know it wasn't as close as it seemed initially.
No.
But in the NFL now, hey man, this 60 thing is real. This over 60 thing is real. If you can attempt something from like 65, 66, back in the day, you're like, no, we can't try that. You might go ahead and try it. You got a shot. Everybody got a leg now.
The moment Carlos Santos lined up, I knew he wasn't gonna make that.
Oh no.
I hear your point in general. He ain't never kicked nothing that far. Hey, everybody ain't
It was
Justin
online.
Tucker. Okay.
It was online
great.
for a while.
Unfortunately, they don't give you 3 points for being online. He was about 10 yards short. But it was a good game. It was a good game.
He was 10 yards short.
And Justin Fields
Tony-
is growing up before our eyes. That was a nice performance out of
good.
Justin Fields.